Welcome, wrestling fans, to another edition of AAPW All Access. I'm Jimmy Fish. Well, apparently Gaylord Stevens has found himself a new protege. Let's check in with that duo now.
Welcome to Old School. I'm Gaylord Stevens. Today's episode is brought to you by, and proudly brought to you by, the best of Dalton Diamond, Volume 5. Currently available on VHS. Soon to be on DVD. Maybe we'll get a copy of it here next week. My guest at this time, one J. Wellington Beauregard. Now, I've got to admit to you fans at home, I didn't trust you much at first when I first saw you. It looked a little weird to me, coming off the cuff. But then that magic moment happened, when that money you promised me appeared in my account. So today, I come bearing gifts. This is everything right here. Everything you need to know about the business. Take a look. What you'll see is detailed medical reports of every man in the company. Everything. A reversal to every finishing move that I've ever seen that these men have ever attempted. No, don't look too hard in there. There's only one piece that's missing. Livewire's birth certificate. I couldn't find that anywhere in the area. No one knows anything about it. But here, this is just a one-night rental. Take a look at it. Tell me what you think.
One night rental? The amount of money I've paid you and I can only have this for 24 hours? What am I supposed to do in that amount of time? Can I even have my secretaries get this in the computer database in such short notice? Huh?
We will discuss further issues later. You can get that on your hands again if more money makes its way into my account. Speaking of that, now, do I have to pay taxes on that money that you gave to me so nicely?
I am in an elite class of my own. I do not pay taxes. I am in the top 1%. I'm not bound by the laws of society like all this other common trash that we see walk around here. So don't worry. And why were you even worried? Why did you not even trust me? I told you that money would be in your account and there would not even be one stop pay put on there. But I'm glad to hear you trust me. A Beauregard always tells the truth.
I appreciate that. Let me take that off your hands here for a little while. I'll get it back to you. Now, some people say that you didn't earn your fortune. Your family fortune, you were born into it. Now, if I may, America hates success. The man that makes the most money, they want to bring him down. They want to tax him to death. And this man right here, he worked for it. He wasn't born into it. Sure, on his conception, the day of, you against millions of your brethren racing, and you bravely circumnavigated those fallopian tubes and got to that nest egg. And on that day, I can't think of a harder challenge than that. No American, you're a patriot. No Americans worked harder.
Thank you, Gaylord. That is totally inspirational. Totally inspirational. And you're right. Everybody gets so jealous of me just because my daddy and my mommy have a little extra money. Just because they throw a few extra credit cards. They have let me have total access to all the funds, plus now funds of my own. People get jealous of that. But they're just going to have to get over themselves because, as I've said before, and as I say again, I'm better than everybody.
Now, you make a good point. But there's one issue I have with you. Your attire. Now, if you're going to hang with me, I can't be seen with you in public like this. You look ridiculous. I mean, look at you. So, I went to the trouble of having a handmade suit made for you. Please bring it on out. This was just finished hours ago, and you will be wearing this from now on if you will be seen with me. The inlay, solid gold. I took some of that money, and so you're asking about me just throwing my reports around. I am buying suits for you. So never, ever, ever run your mouth at me again. Now get this out of here. I want that pressed and washed this afternoon. Now that we've got that out of the way, tell everyone about your charity work. He's a humanitarian. Tell them what you're giving back to the community.
That's right, Gaylord. I am so thrilled that you brought that up. The entire Beauregard family gets criticized because we have money, but we are great humanitarians, and we love charity work. That's why I'm going to start a new charity right now, and you and all your wonderful fans are going to be the first ones to hear about it. There's this slimy, shady character that's here in All American Pro Wrestling who decided to put his hands on my delicate neck when all I did was simply step into the ring, say my piece, kindly warn him that it was not over between yourself and Mr. Axe Allward. If you're a little slow, you know by now that I'm talking about one Heath Hatton. I'm starting a charity right now. I'm putting a bounty out. A bounty for the head of Heath Hatton in the sum of $10,000.
Cash money.
Cash. So does that strike your fancy? Do you think that will strike anyone else's?
That strikes my fancy. And you know what? $10,000 in pocket sounds great. And make no mistake, this is no bounty. This is simply charity. What a humanitarian. No, is AAPW officials going to stand against this? They're going to say, no, we don't like charity. You're a great man. I'm glad to have you here with me.
Thank you.
And from now on, you're going to be the manager of my unmanageables. Everything I can't handle, you're going to take on.
Me?
Yes, you. And $10,000 to anyone that wants it. That's great. Good night.
AAPW has seen several newcomers as of late. Let's hear from another, Blake Steele.
This is the Apex Blake Steele, and I finally made my way to All American Pro Wrestling. And I look around the locker room, and you know, there's a lot of great guys around here, a lot of guys that I've seen before, a lot of guys doing real good for themselves. But you see, the Apex Blake Steele doesn't settle for doing just good. No, you see, I do great. A lot of people might not like me, but that's just because they don't like what I am. I am a threat to whoever steps into the ring with me, big, small, it doesn't matter. I've seen them all, and I've seen them all fall. And tonight's going to be no different. All American Pro Wrestling, I'm putting you on notice that I'm going to be the top guy. I'm going to be the apex, if you will. Just wait and see.
So now we're shooting with the new XL1s. Power is the power wheel here. You've got your white balance. ND filters are on here. You've got iris control. You have your focus control is right here, and obviously you get your zoom right here. Hey, Sean.
Talk.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, Chris, do you want me to keep recording this?
Yeah, no, that's fine. It'll give you some practice. What's up, Sean?
So I saw that a few weeks ago you made a #1 contenders match.
Yeah, I did.
And now Edmund is the new #1 contender.
Edmund Livewire McGuire is the new #1 contender. Yes.
I love Ed just as much as anybody else. I mean, he's been with this company since day one, and he has fought for everything that he's gotten. Man, lately he just hasn't been getting it done. I've given him chances.
You've given him chances, Sean. Those all been tainted chances. Look what happened. Summer Chaos, okay, you want to protect his foot. I understand that. Back when he took on Mike Masters the second time, he got disqualified intentionally. Come on, Sean. It's not right. It's not right.
I agree, it's not right. But the main thing is getting that belt off Masters.
Right. We're both in agreement, right?
Yes, it is. We are in agreement.
Okay.
I don't want any more excuses, okay? This is nothing against Ed, but it's time to move on if he can't get it done.
All right.
And to ensure this, I'm getting a cage.
What?
I'm getting a cage. That way nobody can use the excuse of somebody came ringside and interfered. Somebody threw in a towel. This, that, the other. We're going to lock them both in a cage. Whoever comes out over the top, through the door, pins one guy, makes him submit, anything goes.
Sean,
and there's going to be no excuses for Ed. He's either going to get the job done or we're going to find somebody else to get it done. I want that belt off Masters.
Well, I agree, but there has never been a cage match in AAPW history. You've said that AAPW is a family-friendly event, and we've never had a cage match. And now, for the first time ever, at AAPW 0 Hour, the 6th anniversary event, you want to bring in a cage to settle things between Ed and Mike?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
AAPW Summer Chaos is now available on DVD. We live the hottest event of the summer by ordering your copy at AAPWrestling.com. See the controversial ending of the AAPW Heavyweight Championship match between Edmund Livewire McGuire and Mike Masters. Plus, watch two of the top teams in the Midwest battle it out for the AAPW Tag Team Championship. Heath Haddon faces the old school warrior Axel Ward. And see the return of international superstar M-Dog 20 Matt Cross. Get your copy today for only $15. DVDs are going fast. Order your copy of AAPW Summer Chaos today before they sell out at AAPWrestling.com.
Seth Knight's back here at AAPW, and I'm here to make a mark. Tonight, Blake Steele, you're going to be my return match. And you know what? It might be your first match here, and you may be trying to make a mark, but guess what? You're not going to make a mark. You're not going to make an example of Seth Knight. Because when Dynamite Seth Knight comes out to that ring tonight, it's going to be no limits.
This contest is set for one fall and 10-minute time. Making his way to the ring from the closest nearer, he weighs 185 pounds, Blake Steele!
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching AAPW All Access, and Blake Steele, a newcomer here to All-American Pro Wrestling. He's been around the Midwest, the Central Illinois region. Calls himself the apex of AAPW, though, so an interesting moniker he's given himself, but yet to have a match here, Chris.
I was going to say, how can you call to yourself an apex when you haven't even had a match?
He's very confident in his abilities from the sounds of things.
I'll tell you what, though, he's got a good look.
From Dyersburg, Tennessee, he weighs in at 200 pounds. Dynamite Seth Knight!
Dynamite Seth Knight makes his return to All-American Pro Wrestling as well, Kevin.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Seth Knight. Very excited to see him back in AAPW, a fan favorite, as you can tell. And they're just as excited to see him back here in AAPW.
I'll tell you what, he looks great, Kevin. I mean, he looks like he's in great shape. We got some new ring gear. This is going to be a really good contest here on All Access.
That's right. Again, Blake Steele kind of waiting to get this contest started and is the newcomer here to AAPW.
Well, we've seen a lot of impressive matches here on All Access, Kevin, and we're excited to call this one two high flyers, two guys that certainly they look like they're very impressive individuals. We've seen what Seth Knight has to offer. Now it's time to see what, well, I guess he called himself the apex of AAPW has to offer. We'll hold reservation for that after the match in Blake Steele.
Very confident in his abilities and in his look here as he's posing for Seth Knight. And Seth Knight does not seem to be impressed. Well, sarcastically impressed.
I would say he
perhaps.
gave him a hand clap there. And there's the bell. We got, you know who Blake Steele reminds me of?
Who's that?
He has a young Mark Sterling look to him.
He kind of does. I'll agree with that.
I mean, look at the physique, the hair. And Mark Sterling is an accomplished athlete throughout the Midwest. He has a quick little show of respect there, it looks like.
Wonder how long that'll last, and Seth Knight winning the lockup here.
And I mean that, and I meant that with complete honor and regard. I mean, Blake Steele looks very impressive, and Mark Sterling, when he broke into this business, was an impressive individual. Still is an impressive individual, but we've seen good things out of him, and maybe we can see those same things out of Blake Steele.
Time will tell, that is for sure, Chris. And this is where everybody wants to come. We've been introducing a lot of new wrestlers here on All Access and on Collision, and
let's be honest, the phone's ringing off the hook, Kevin.
People want to be here. They want to be a part of All-American Pro Wrestling. In my opinion, and I'm probably a little biased because I'm here, but the best promotion in the Midwest and in the region.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that, Kevin. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody in this arena that's going to have anybody disagree with you, though. You called Southern Illinois, Southeast Missouri, Western Kentucky. Even people from St. Louis are coming down to these shows. Nashville. I'm not talking about Illinois, Nashville, Tennessee.
That's right.
They're coming out here. Is Seth Knight, though, trying to get the upper hand on Blake Steele and slap right to the face.
Blake Steele following it up now, whipping Knight into the ropes. Ducks down, was going to try to back body drop, but Knight knew what was coming up.
Cover 1, 2, quick little roll up, and no, and
grabs that bottom rope for security as well.
Yeah, for safety.
And he wants him back. Seth Knight is nowhere near him at this point. And Blake Steele clearly frustrated with that near pin attempt here, near fall by Dynamite Seth Knight, who we have mentioned back here in AAPW, and a big boot right to the breadbasket. And a side headlock now applied by Blake Steele. Seth Knight was down, but he's back up now. Going to try to work his way out of this with a couple of body blows. Sends Steele in.
Well,
Blake Steele taking a lot of time showing off for the cameras here.
That could be his downfall right here. Seth Knight, though, gave him an opportunity. Watch out here. Boom!
Gotta follow through and not
1, 2.
Pull the crowd for who's sexy. At least in my estimation.
Oh.
Big hip toss. Big arm drag takedown.
Oh.
Big drop kick. My goodness.
Seth Knight's explosive right here, Kevin.
Showing us why they call him Dynamite. That is for sure, Chris. And Blake Steele looks to be a little wobbly right now. I think he'd be on his back if it weren't for the ropes holding him up. Well, gains his bearings there, and a nice clothesline. Follow through, follow through.
Oh.
Kicks him out to the floor. He does to Seth Knight. As the action hasn't completely spilled out here. One half of this match on the floor now.
Blake Steele, I think, needs to get a breather for himself, Kevin. I think he got a little sidetracked. Watch out here. Oh! Right out here in front of us, right into the steel post.
And Seth Knight's left shoulder tossed right into that steel post. Steele follows up, goes right into the ring after him.
Oh!
And a big chop.
Oh!
High knee. That was a beautiful high knee. Beautifully executed.
Impressive.
Is that going to be enough to do it here?
Cover 1, 2, no.
Man. Seth Knight excited to be back here in All-American Pro Wrestling. Said there are no limits for what he can do here, Chris. I don't know if he was dropping hints or what, but definitely excited to see him back here in AAPW.
You're absolutely right, though. Blake Steele, though, got that, really cinched in right there with that front face lock. Really got a tight look at that.
Like a sleeper hold here.
Well, you're right. It's a sleeper hold. Got to correct me if you have to.
Referee checking. Seth Knight fights his way out of that, but runs right into a big elbow. Hooks the leg. Is it enough?
Blake Steele getting a little frustrated. Oh! Seth Knight, though, trying to mount a little bit of offense here.
He's back on his feet. Went for a big roundhouse and missed. Oh! Man.
Back body drop, just planted. Seth Knight, cover 1, 2.
Not enough, but
again, a cocky cover.
He's kind of, if he hooked the leg, he might have gotten him.
We say that time and time again, Kevin. No one really takes our advice.
And Seth Knight fighting back now.
Oh, jeez.
Big chop.
Ooh.
There's a second one.
Watch out here, Seth Knight, though, trying to get a little steam rolling. Whoa, whoa, watch out here. What's Blake Steele?
Oh, shoulder breaker. And I believe that was the shoulder that he sent into that steel turnbuckle.
Look at that, though. Lifted him
Ring
right
post
back
rather.
up.
Yeah. Power.
Oh!
A lot of power there to Seth Knight.
That's got to be all 1, 2, no!
Rather cocky again with that cover, Chris. Did not hook the leg.
He could have had him if he hooked that leg, Kevin.
I think you're right.
Not to reiterate what you just said, but
He is definitely working on that shoulder now, though. After ramming it into the ring post and now a shoulder breaker.
oh. Again, Blake Steele is just dismantling Seth Knight right now.
Got to pick a body part and kind of dissect, and that's exactly what Blake Steele is doing here.
Well, he's trying to show off, I think, right now, Kevin. I think he's trying to show the AEPW locker room he's a force to be reckoned with, and he's just stomping right through Seth Knight.
Yeah, Seth Knight, an established star here in AAPW. He's been here before. Glad to see him back on his return here on All Access. And these two are just going toe-to-toe. Seth Knight back up on his feet, to his credit, after being stomped in the corner there for several minutes. And Seth Knight firing back up. Throwing those fists, big right hands, thunderous right hands. Whips Blake Steele into the corner and follows up with a nice clothesline. Is that enough?
They call it a shining wizard, Kevin. Watch out here. Seth Knight's up. Oh!
Missile drop kick.
Oh! Blake Steele's up, though.
And right back down.
Yeah, knocks him right down. Oh!
Beautiful, beautiful. Hook that leg.
Quick cover now.
Get him.
1, 2. Only 2. What do you got to do to put Blake Steele away here?
I don't know, because, Chris, we haven't seen him here in an All-American Pro Wrestling ring before, so this is a very interesting dynamic.
Oh!
That big boot, though, might just be the cherry on top, so to speak.
Well, stay on him, Seth.
He's posturing for the fans.
He's calling it one more time, he's saying, but now Blake Steele is got spaghetti legs on Dream Street here. Watch out, he's setting up for that Dynamite finish maneuver. No, wait a minute. Look at this.
What is this?
Yeah, torture.
Strength.
Oh!
My God.
Cover 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
I'm impressed.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by pinfall, Blake Steele.
You know, the modified Death Valley driver, like a reversal of a DVD.
An impressive debut here on All-American Pro Wrestling Access. Chris, that was an impressive win for Blake Steele.
Absolutely, Kevin. And you give him credit for what he's done right. He's getting his hand raised right now. Clearly, he may have something here in AAPW. Impressive.
Another dynamic AAPW match with those two. That's it for All Access. I'm Jimmy Fish.